1814, deep in the heart of Java, a British officer received a local rumor that a mountain in the jungle was hiding a forgotten monument. When he arrived, he saw only thick vines, trees, and soil-covered mounds. But as the layers were cleared, something extraordinary emerged, a vast stone mountain, not of nature, but of human hands. This was Borobudur, the world's largest Buddhist temple, buried for centuries, lost to time, and reborn as one of humanity's greatest wonders. Standing in central Java, Indonesia, Borobudur isn't just a temple. It's a three-dimensional mandala, a spiritual map built in stone. Constructed around the 9th century during the Sailendra Dynasty, it predates the famous Angkor Wat by centuries. Imagine 2 million stone blocks stacked without mortar, forming a mountain of enlightenment. At first glance, it looks like a pyramid, but step closer and you'll realize it's an encyclopedia of Buddhist philosophy, carved into volcanic stone. Every surface tells a story. More than 2,600 relief panels and 500 Buddha statues guide the visitor on a symbolic journey, from the world of desire to the world of form, and finally, to formlessness. It's a cosmic path, not one of physical travel, but of spiritual awakening. The lowest levels depict human desires and sufferings. Higher up, carvings show acts of compassion, meditation, and enlightenment. And at the summit, pure silence. No carvings, no walls, only empty stupas and the open sky. That emptiness, for Buddhists, represents nirvana, the ultimate liberation from worldly illusions. But Borobudur isn't random in design. Its architecture mirrors the Buddhist cosmos, divided into 3 realms: Kamadhatu, the world of desire; Rupadhatu, the world of form; Arupadhatu, the formless world. Visitors begin at the base, walking clockwise along galleries that spiral upward. It's not just sightseeing, it's a ritual of enlightenment. With each step, you leave behind one layer of existence. By the time you reach the top, surrounded by the silent Buddhas and the misty Javanese hills, you feel, even for a moment, as though you've climbed out of time itself. But how was such a masterpiece built? Historians believe that around 775 CE, the Sailendra kings, who were devout Mahayana Buddhists, began the project. It took roughly 75 years to complete. Each stone was cut from volcanic rock, transported from nearby rivers, and fitted with precise joints. No cement, no nails. What's more astonishing, the design aligns perfectly with the 4 cardinal directions and with Mount Merapi, one of Indonesia's most active volcanoes. Borobudur wasn't just architecture, it was astronomy, geometry, spirituality, all fused into one sacred mountain.
Yet, just like the civilizations that built it, Borobudur eventually vanished. By the 14th century, Buddhism in Java declined, replaced by Islam. Without pilgrims to maintain it, the temple was swallowed by volcanic ash and jungle. For 500 years, it slept beneath layers of earth, forgotten by the world. Locals feared it, calling it a haunted hill. Only in the early 19th century did British officer Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles rediscover it, after hearing the legend from villagers. When explorers dug through the soil, what they uncovered left them speechless. A monument as large as a pyramid, hidden beneath tropical forest. Restoration became a global mission. In 1975, UNESCO and the Indonesian government launched one of the largest archaeological restoration projects ever attempted. Over 1.2 million stones were dismantled, cleaned, and precisely replaced to prevent collapse. Engineers installed modern drainage systems to protect it from monsoon rains. It took nearly a decade, but by 1982, Borobudur stood reborn, not just as a national treasure, but as a World Heritage Site, representing the pinnacle of ancient Indonesian art and spirituality. Today, every year, thousands of pilgrims gather here for Vesak Day, the most sacred Buddhist festival, marking the birth, enlightenment, and death of the Buddha. As dawn breaks, monks in orange robes light candles and circle the temple, chanting softly. The rising sun paints the stupas gold, birds fly overhead, and for a moment, the ancient stones seem alive again, whispering the same truths they carried for over 1,000 years. Each stupa, those bell-shaped domes, holds a Buddha statue inside. There are 72 of them on the top terraces, arranged in perfect symmetry. And yet, some Buddhas are hidden, their faces obscured by latticed stone. That design isn't accidental. It's symbolic. The hidden Buddhas represent wisdom that can't be seen until one reaches enlightenment. Just like the temple itself, hidden for centuries until humanity was ready to rediscover it. To understand Borobudur is to understand the Javanese mind, where art, religion, and nature coexist in harmony. Unlike the temples of India or Cambodia that reach skyward in vertical grandeur, Borobudur spreads outward, embracing the landscape. It doesn't dominate nature, it blends with it. Look closely and you'll see how the structure mirrors the shape of the surrounding mountains. Even the terraces resemble the layers of a volcano. It's as if the architects wanted to remind us that spiritual ascent and natural ascent are one and the same.
Across the world, civilizations built monuments to eternity. Egypt had its pyramids, Peru its Machu Picchu, Cambodia its Angkor Wat. But Borobudur, it stands apart. It wasn't built for kings or tombs, but for the soul. No human was meant to rule here. No one was meant to rest here in death. It was designed as a guidebook, a stone journey from ignorance to awakening. Every carving, every corridor, every Buddha face is a lesson, quietly teaching how to rise above the illusions of the world. And yet, time nearly erased it. Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and the jungle's slow embrace turned it into a forgotten ruin. Imagine that. One of humanity's greatest achievements, gone unnoticed for half a millennium. It makes you wonder, how many more wonders are still waiting, buried beneath the earth? Today, Borobudur attracts millions of visitors each year, explorers, pilgrims, and dreamers alike. But those who come seeking more than just a photograph discover something deeper. As the morning fog lifts, and the distant call to prayer echoes through the valley, there's a stillness, an ancient energy that humbles even the most modern traveler. You realize this isn't just a temple. It's a living bridge between the human and the divine, between Indonesia's past and its present. The temple's journey, from glory to ruin to rediscovery, mirrors the human journey itself. We rise, we fall, we forget, and we rediscover who we truly are. Perhaps that's the real message of Borobudur, that enlightenment isn't somewhere above the clouds. It's right here, hidden beneath layers of dust and time, waiting to be uncovered within us. As the first rays of sunlight strike the stupas, casting long shadows across the valley, Borobudur stands silent, just as it has for over 12 centuries. A monument not to power, but to peace. Not to conquest, but to consciousness. Long after its builders vanished, their creation still whispers across the ages that true enlightenment is timeless, and that even when buried by darkness, the human spirit always finds its way back to the light.